Hey everybody, welcome back to the Royal Read. I am so glad you decided to stop by and see what I'm reading on. But before we get started, you already know I ask you to do it every single day. I promise you I'm going to do it every single day. Why? Because we are building a tribe, we are building a community, and we want you to be a part of it. And let me tell you, I'm not bragging, but this is the best community on these internet streets. You don't believe me? Go in the comments, talk to somebody, get involved with the conversation. I bet you'll want to be a part of this community. And you know, when that happens, you know what you need to do? Go right down here in these settings. Look around, find that subscribe button, and go ahead on and subscribe. And while you're in there, hit your notification bell too, so you know when I upload or when I just want to pop in. And give me a thumbs up to fight my nemesis, the beast, the algorithm. Ooh, child, it drags me. But sometimes I win, sometimes I win. Also, I just want to give a big shout out and a big thank you to all the people who support the channel by watching the commercials. Let me tell you, it helps so very much. I know it's not easy. I know that skip button really looks good, but it really helps the channel, and that support is everything. Also, right about here, that's the join button. That's for channel memberships. And if you choose to become a channel member and a part of the reading club, you will be supporting my channel to grow, to improve, and to continue. And I will be so grateful, so thankful, so over the moon appreciative to have your support. Also, if you just want to do a one-time donation, our Super Thanks button is right over there. And all donations to the channel is always greatly appreciated. All right, y'all, we do have a shout out, and I wrote the name down so I can get it right. Hopefully I will. I want to shout out Darlene Verdreas. Darlene, thank you for just being a part of the community and seeing something in my little channel that you want to be a part of, and that you see something in it that you want to support. It means everything. So thank you for the super thanks, and just thank you for being here and being a part of this community. It means everything. All right, y'all. With all that said, let's get to the read. Y'all know we have usually, as usual, we have a lot. And y'all know when I am putting the read together, y'all know what I do. I hit these internet streets. And that's exactly what I have done. Today, I have been all over these internet streets. I've been on Blue Sky. I've been on TikTok. I've been on Instagram. uh, Go over to Megan's page. She has been posting over there. She has. And she has the cutest little pictures of her when she was a Girl Scout. I guess it's not Girl Scout when you're that little. I think it's called brownies. Yeah, she was a brownie and she looked so cute. Megan has been in business ever since she was a little girl. I guess that's what Megan is saying. Well, also then I moseyed on over there to X, formerly known as Twitter, the sewer, and yes, to see what the squatties over there are doing. And of course, they are busy. Everybody is excited about Harry and Meghan, because you know Harry just popped up and just turned up over to the UK for his court hearing. And everybody was like really shocked. I was shocked because I was not expecting him to go, but he did. He popped up. Now, it's another, the hearing continues tomorrow. Will he be there? Who knows? But I'll tell you what, he popped up looking good. So we're going to talk about that. And then Megan, her launch of her podcast. Yes. And it evidently went well because she is number one in the business category. Yes, she is. And I think she's number 6 overall. So Megan is doing the damn thing. She is. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Charles and his horse over there. in Rome. I tell you, it is so funny. It is. And then we're going to talk about Dan Wootton. Dan has gotten, well, he hadn't gotten in trouble. He has been in trouble for a while, but nobody has been able to call him out on it. Well, look like Karma woke up this morning, put on her really, really tight black dress and her red bottom heels, and just clickety click, click, click over there where Dan Wootton was, knocked on the door when he answered, kissed him in the mouth because he has caught a case from all of his shenanigans that he was up to prior to and during the time he was working over there to GB News. So yes, and I think it's one of his former GB News colleagues have sued him. I'm just saying. So we're gonna talk about that. So it is a lot. It's a lot, and like I say, it's a lot. So we might as well just get into it. So I am gonna start with this, and that would be Harry's court case. Harry showed up at the Crown Court and looking good, looking moisturized and well fed, and just looking like a tasty snack with his swagger intact. And I'm telling you, the British media almost lost its mind. I have never saw people obsess over a human being like they do Harry and Meghan, but I digress. I'm going to put this up. And this particular squatty said this. Prince Harry said in this particular interview at the book summit deal, all eyes on Discovery during this appeal due to the king's refusing his son who asked to pay for his security with his own money. Charles said that the British people won't be greatly affected if something happened to Prince Harry. He said that. He did. But I want y'all to listen to this soundbite. If something is going to come out in this court case. This is the first day, but evidently Harry has something up his sleeve, meaning that he has found something out in Discovery. He has discovered something. He has absolutely found out what those folks have been up to, and he said so. I did not remember him saying this in this interview, but this particular squatty posted this soundbite, and I'm telling you, Harry knows something. He said he found out a lot in Discovery, and what came out today is not the shocker. Harry might just show all his cards tomorrow. I'm just saying. So let's just listen to this soundbite and y'all tell me what y'all think Harry is talking about. I think Harry really has some evidence that he's going to show that they have mistreated him in every form and fashion. And they took his security away for retaliation, not because of any reassessment or anything like that. I'm just saying. Hold on. I am going to put a picture up of Harry and then I'll play the soundbite. And we'll talk about it on the other end.
The disclosure, I think you guys call it discovery process, has been troubling and enlightening. And I just have to now sit and wait until April. The disclosure, I think you guys call it discovery process, has been troubling and enlightening. And I just have to now sit and wait until April.
All right, did y'all hear what he said? He said that the discovery has been troubling and enlightening. And that's why I believe it's more to come out in this second day. And we will be watching it because Harry is one not to bluff or say something that is not true. And from what I have heard that they talked about in this first day, it's no big shockers here. But Harry said that discovery It has been really, really enlightening. So we will see tomorrow. We will see what tomorrow brings. But I got a feeling it's going to bring some revelations. And all I can say is, I cannot wait. Y'all know I'm missing. Yes, but yes, we all see what Charles said about his son. I wonder what Harry found out about him. I'm just saying, we all know that the Queen wrote a letter saying that she wanted Harry and his family to have security. And they ran roughshod over that and did not grant the queen what the Queen wanted. She was the Queen, she was the sovereign, and Charles ran roughshod over that. I'm just saying. All I can say is Charles has a lot to reap because he has sown a lot of horrible, horrible seeds. And harvest time will be coming. That's all I'm saying. All right, y'all, I'm going to put this one up. And this is where the Associated Press posted about Harry showing up at the Crown's court. And this particular squatter reposted that and said, I have never seen media obsess over the movement of the royal family the way they obsess over the movement of Harry or Meghan. Well, it's a lie. I have never saw anything like it before in my life. They were doing breaking news updates. They really was. They were breaking into programming. I mean, stopping people in mid-sentence to go to watch Harry walk into the courtroom. I kid you not. The obsession is real when it comes to Harry and Meghan. It really is. And then on top of that, they want to blame Harry and Meghan for their obsession. How crazy is that? Harry and Meghan just trying to live their life as normally as they can, and they just absolutely lose their SHIT anytime Harry puts his foot on the ground over there. It is funny. It is funny, and it's also sick. I'm just saying. All right, y'all, I'm going to put this up. And this particular squatty said this: a king who doesn't want his son protected. If Prince Harry's security is denied again, the Invictus Games should go to another country for Invictus 27. Where is the lie? Where is it? Because basically they're saying that they don't want him there. And it goes on to say, the world sees you, King Charles. Not everyone is a lying royalist or a part of the royalist British media. Good luck, Prince Harry. Yes, I don't know. I'm torn. Y'all know what I did my pop-up about yesterday. I'm torn about the whole thing. I don't know. On one hand, I want him to win because this is what he wants, because you can see the determination in his face. And then on the other hand, I am afraid for his safety because these people, I trust none of them. I don't. So we shall see how it all shakes out. All right, y'all, I'm going to put this up. And this particular squatter reposted the same picture that the one before did and said this: Prince Harry wants to pay his own security when he is in the UK and was denied. Prince Andrew's security was being covered by the taxpayer till recently, where King Charles pays for it. What is the difference? What is the difference? Tell me that. Why can Charles pay for security and not Harry? I'm just saying. And it goes on to say, so it's okay for Andrew, but not Harry. This isn't about rules. It's simply about control and punishment. Where is the lie? They have been trying their best to control and punish Harry ever since he met Meghan. Because before then, They had control over Harry, control of him physically and mentally. His mind was in shackles. And then when he met Megan, she freed him. She freed him physically and in his mind to the point where he can clearly see who these people are. They're lizard people. They are cold-blooded animals. They are. They are not warm-blooded. They are cold-blooded. And now Harry sees that. Yes, and Megan helped him to see it. That's why they hate her so much, because she was the catalyst for Harry to see who they really was. Because they wanted him to stick around, mistreat him, just keep him in poverty and work him until he was an old man. Yes, and did not want him to have a family or anything, because it was all about them, especially William. William walking around there talking about, it just might not happen for you. It just might not happen for you, Harold. Y'all remember that in Spare? It just might not happen for you, Harold. He never wanted nothing for Harry. He didn't want Harry to be happy. He didn't want him to be married. He didn't want him to have children. He didn't want him to have a decent place to live. He didn't want Harry to have nice things. None of that. That's the reason why he walks around so angry and look like he is wasting away, like he is on a crack pipe or something. Because we all know envy, jealousy, hate, all of that is just not healthy for you. And boy, is it proven to be not healthy for him. I'm just saying. All right, y'all, I'm going to put this up, and this is a repost. And the original post says this: people are asking if the royal family didn't learn anything from what happened to Diana when they took Harry's security away. The thing is, Charles knew and wanted something to happen to Harry and his family. Remember, Queen Elizabeth II made it clear that Harry and Meghan should have security. Exactly. I said this in my last podcast, that this was a hit, because what else can you call it when you take a high profile person's security away from them and then leak to one of the notorious rags in the UK their location and just absolutely said there they are and let something happen to them. Charles did not care. He didn't even care enough to take Harry's phone calls. So basically, he didn't care about the life of his son, the life of his son's wife, or their small child. So nobody can ever tell me what happened to Diana was an accident. It just worked out too well for him and his horse, if you know what I mean. I'm just saying. And this particular squatty that posted this said this: I totally agree. Charles knew the threats and did it anyway. We know he knew the threats and he did it anyway. He did. With that small baby. They had a small little 6-month-old baby, his grandson, and he pulled that security and dropped a dime on their location. That is a hit. Now, was it a direct hit? No, it was the same way they played Diana. They took everything away from her and just waited for someone else to do it. That's all I'm saying. And then it goes on to say, he couldn't care less if the unthinkable happened to the Sussex family and wish more people would finally come to terms with that, Harry included. I think maybe Harry might be and come to that conclusion. Y'all heard that little sound bite? Harry said it's very enlightening. Hopefully he has found out that they didn't give a rat's patoot about what happened to him and his family. I'm telling you, without Tyler Perry, I heard, well, it was in my podcast my last podcast where one of the squatties called Tyler Perry a good Samaritan. You know, that's in the Bible. Yes, a good Samaritan came along and saved the Sussex family. And their blood family could have cared less. Really called in the wolves, called in the wolves so they could be destroyed. I'm just saying. All right, I'm going to read this real quick, and it's how other royal families handle, family members who are not full-time royals. And this is a repost. Well, I guess it's a repost of a repost. But the original post, look down here, it says, I'll always use Princess Madeline of Sweden as an example. She currently resides in Florida, USA. She is not a full-time working royal, but do take part in engagements from time to time. However, Sweden ruled that whenever she and her family visit Sweden, they are given immediate, full, effective royal protection because of their status. Yet, you have a British veteran who fought for his country having to fight the government in order for effective security for his wife and children after previous court documents show that the late Queen Elizabeth described it as imperative, her own words, that Harry and Meghan keep their full effective security after they left the royal family because the threat level against Harry and especially his wife and children are way higher than any other royal family member. Where is the lie? And this is how they do Princess Madeline from Sweden. She lives here in the US, but when she goes back to her home country, she gets full security. What is the problem here? I don't get it. I just don't get it. I don't. And this particular squatty posted that and said, regarding Prince Harry's police protection in the UK, the king's son and a veteran who hasn't committed any crime has to fight for his basic safety in his homeland. Shame to King Charles and all those who are complicit. Where is the lie? Shame on Charles. But we all know Charles is a trash individual. Always have been, always will be. I think Diana called that one right on the spot. She did. She got that one right. She said that he would make a trash king, and so far, who can argue with her? She knew what she was talking about. And then this squatty who reposted that said this: the British royal family seems to want Prince Harry and his wife and kids gone, just like they did to Princess Diana. Where is the lie? Where is the lie? It's the same playbook. Take away security and then hound them and hound them and hound them to the point where something happens. I'm just saying. But now Harry and Meghan have their own security, and they have armed security here in America. But that was the problem when they go back to Britain. They don't have the intelligence, and they do not have the armed guards, the armed security. And so that's where the rub is. That's what Harry wants. He wants to be able to protect his wife and children in his home country. He just wants to be able to go home. What is the problem here? It's crazy to me. I'm just saying. All right, y'all, I'm going to put this up, and Megan's podcast dropped today. It did. Now, I hadn't had an opportunity to listen to it. Tell me something in the comments if you have had the opportunity to listen to it. But from what I hear, it is really, really good. And if it's anything like archetypes, I know it's really, really good. But yes, they say it is really, really good. It is number one on the business charts. I think it's number six overall. Yes, Megan doing that thing. And this particular Squatty said this episode one, the evolution of an entrepreneur with Bumbles, Whitney Wolf Heard. Yes, and I heard a lot about their conversation, and we're going to talk about that. But like I said, I have not heard it, so I can't speak from that perspective. I'm going to put this up, and this particular Squatty said this. I am so glad that Megan is back in the spotlight, shining a spotlight on important issues, inspiring people of different races. With love, Megan uses her voice and her status for a greater good. And they're talking about that Megan talked about her having postnatal, I think they call it postpartum, that's what it is. Postpartum preeclampsia. Yes, and it's very, very dangerous. And her and Whitney was talking about that. They both had it and how dangerous it is. And they talked about some, well, a lot of people start talking about what the symptoms were and whatnot. Now, Megan did not get into it. It was kind of like in passing. Like I said, I hadn't listened to the podcast, but they were saying it not like it was some big announcement or anything like that. It was just part of the conversation. But look what the Preeclampsia Foundation did. Came out and posted about postpartum preeclampsia. And look what it says. We are so grateful for the awareness that Meghan Markle is bringing to postpartum preeclampsia, a life-threatening hypertensive disorder of pregnancy. Preeclampsia can occur up to 6 weeks postpartum and can be life-threatening. And there you go. And gave the website of the Preeclampsia Foundation. Yes, Megan is out here making people aware of things, and who knows, probably saving lives. That's why we had a problem with Kitty Cat. Kitty Cat up there talking about she had cancer and never told anybody what the cancer is supposed to be. And then they want to try to blow smoke up our skirt, talking about she just saved a whole lot of lives. She was just so brave. A lot of people got checked. For what? What did they get checked for? Because nobody don't even know what kind of cancer she had. And she has not shared anything. So it just makes no sense to me. But Megan shared exactly what happened to her. And now people are aware of it. And if they had it, or if they, because it's all out there, all the symptoms and everything. So much information about this postpartum preeclampsia is online right now. I mean, my timeline is filled up with it, with all, like I said, with all the symptoms and everything. It is bound to help someone. But what did Kitty Cat do to help anybody? Because, like I said, to this day, we don't know what kind of cancer she is professing to have. So, how can that help anybody? It is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard of. And it's so typical her. Because at the end of the day, she is useless. She just is a front. Nothing in the back. I'm just saying. All right, y'all. I'm going to put this up. Y'all know I just said this. Megan is number one. It says this is a good number one today on the charts. And this is just the beginning. Well, it's a lie. Yes, there Megan is number one in business charts. Yes, and like I said, overall, I think she's number six or eight somewhere. But because I heard eight and then I heard six, so she's in the top 10 for sure. And I just love that for her, and I love it for all her haters. And let me tell you, they were out in full force, especially across that pond. It is so crazy to me that they just complain about what Megan is doing, and she makes nothing for them. That's the way they are about her products and her business. She don't even sell to the UK, but here they are talking about it, making the spaghetti, doing all this stuff. None of this has been for you. But yet and still, here you are. Megan's business is pretty much strictly in America as of now. Do I think it's going to go global? Absolutely. I hope it does, because it's a lot of UK squatties who are the best of the best. They are. And I want them to have a chance to order and be a part of as ever. But it's none of their business. That I have never saw anything like it before in my life. That press is so obsessed with people who could care less about them and does nothing but mind their business in the United States. It's crazy to me. The Daily Fail talking about why the spread is runny and did a whole article about that. Did a whole article about the nutritional value of the jam or the spread. It's not a jam, it's a spread. I mean, it is crazy when it has nothing to do with you. It literally isn't even sold in the UK, but here they are. They had a segment on one of those morning shows today, and it was about Megan's podcast. And I'm like, why don't y'all just leave her alone? It's not for you. It seems like they try to make everything for them, and in actuality, it's not about you. It's not for you. I tell you what, I have not saw them have any kind of jam or any of the as ever products on one of those morning shows as of yet. Maybe they understand that it's not for them. I'm just saying. Also, I'm going to put this up, and this was in People magazine, and they wrote about it. I did not go and read the article, but for me, the headline is enough. And I had saw a lot of different squatties posting about this, how Whitney talked about how brutal the press has been to Megan, that she brought it up and she defended Megan. And it says, Markle and Bumble's Whitney Wolf Heard get candid about brutalizing tabloid scrutiny. My heart breaks for you. Yes. And anybody who has a heart would break for Megan, because they were on that BS today, just picking apart everything that Megan had done today. And let me tell you, it was one of them that went too far. It really, really was. I'm not even going to play the sound bite, but it just absolutely went too far. And it's so funny to me that Megan can, in passing, talk about something that happened to her, which is very, very serious. Postpartum preeclampsia can result in death. But when Kate, I'm going to put this up, when Kate went on a podcast talking about her morning sickness, her severe morning sickness, nobody had a problem with that. But I saw on some panels, they're talking about Megan should just be quiet. She should be less than. But we all know they have always said that Megan should be less than. Why? Because she always shows them up to be the mediocres that they are. They look at her, they look at Harry, and they look at that family over there, and they see it just like we see it. That family is absolutely worthless. But yet and still they keep running that $1 billion check every year. And in actuality, they're worthless. They are. They're worthless to their people. They're just worthless and mediocre. And Megan just absolutely just highlights it with her excellence. So I'm gonna put this up, and this particular squatty even posted the article where Kate Middleton had went on a podcast talking about her morning sickness, but evidently Megan can't talk about what has happened to her experience on her own podcast. She can't do that. These people are crazy. They are. I mean, they don't want Megan to talk about herself. First, it's like, don't talk about the family. Don't talk about the royal family. But when Megan talks about what happened to her life experience that has nothing to do with those folks over there, they don't want her talking about that either. It is ridiculous. The problem is they just don't want Megan talking, because when she talks, she shows her excellence. And when she shows her excellence, she shows their mediocrity. I'm just saying. This particular squatty said this. So Kate going on a podcast to talk about her extreme morning sickness is fine, but Megan can't talk about her pregnancy complications. Exactly. On her own show. Let's not get it twisted. Megan was on her own show, and they don't want her to talk about that. And the last time I looked, you don't have to watch a podcast. It is crazy to me. I'm just saying. All right, y'all, I'm going to put this one up, and it's pretty much what I just got through saying. It says, why is it that when it comes to Megan, people act like someone breaks into their house, ties them up, and forces them to watch With Love Megan, buy products from As Ever, and even listen to her podcast? If you don't like her, stop being obsessed with everything she does. Exactly, British media. If you are tired of hearing about her, if you're tired of seeing her, what about not reporting on her? What about ignoring her and let the people who really like her pay attention to her? I know that's a radical concept, but why don't you do that? Because I absolutely agree with this squatty. They act like someone breaks into their house and tied them up and force them to do and participate in everything that is Megan. It is, to me, that's the way they sound when they be saying, can she just stop? Can she stop? Can she stop being in our face all the time? Well, can you stop? Can you just move on? Can you stop obsessing about her? Try doing that. And I promise you, Megan is not going to come to your house and put what's going on with her out there in your face. It's ridiculous and stupid, I'm telling you. I'm going to put this up, and this is so true. And this particular squatty said this. With the insane amount of stress and bullying Megan endured from both media outlets and those cage folks, I love that term, the cage folks. Is anybody shocked with the preeclampsia revelation? She is a walking miracle. If Megan opened up about everything, the streets would catch on fire. Well, it's a lie, because we all know Megan sit on Sunday morning, CBS Sunday morning, when her and Harry did that interview, and she said clearly that she had only scratched the surface. It's so much more that Megan can say and talk about what that family put her through. But she has moved on. She's moved past it, and she clearly is healed, or is just about healed and healing. Yes. So, but can you believe this? Yes, I absolutely can. Stress causes this. So I agree with this squatty wholeheartedly. And this one right here, I'm going to be real quick with it too. It is so good because it is right on point as well. It says, when Megan admitted she had been, wanting to unalive herself, no one in the British media expressed any shame or remorse. They accused her of lying when she had a miscarriage. The royalists accused her of faking another pregnancy. Today, Meghan is working for herself, and at the job, she talks about her issues at childbirth. Racist, evil royalists said she should hide to make them happy. Well, it's a lie because they don't want to take responsibility that they maybe played a part in this woman going through the things that she went through, having her children. It was dangerous for Meghan. And they absolutely don't want to hear it because they know what they have done. I'm just saying. And I'm going to put this up. This post right here is everything. When I say everything, it is everything. And it says this. Pray tell Roy Nicka. This is Roy Nicka, who is presently with the king and his horse, is back here in Meghan's business. She's presently in Italy, but she still is in Meghan's business. And it says, pray tell Royal Nicka, Meghan left Great Britain 5 years ago, hasn't stepped foot in Great Britain for over 2 years. She doesn't even sell her products in Great Britain, and all of her business are based in America. So why do you obsessively watch her from Great Britain and then whine like she seeks your attention? You and the rotor makes Great Britain sound like a jilted ex. Where is the lie? That's the way they do. She's doing too much. She's always in our face. Meghan is 5,000 miles away, minding her business. You are seeking her out. You're the crazy one, not her. That needs to be said. You are the stalker. You are the obsessed one. Meghan is just running her business, being a regular person, doing her thing over here, and you are seeking out everything that she does in order to talk about it and obsess over it, and then try to project that nonsense on her like it's her fault that you are so obsessed with her. Lord have mercy. If that is not the most craziest thing, if these people don't hurry up and get some help, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. They are so crazy. This whole industry, this whole Fleet Street needs to be on some kind of medication and also in therapy at least 5 times a week to try to withdraw from Harry and Meghan. You would have thought Elvis Presley or Michael Jackson had come to life and was walking into that courtroom when Harry showed up, that you could hear the jubilation in their voices. They were just so happy. They just could not believe that Harry had graced them with his presence. But yet and still they want to pretend like they hate him, they do this. All Harry has to do is to give them a little smile and a wave, and they would absolutely lose it. They are obsessed with him. It is the craziest thing. And Meghan too. All right, y'all, I'm going to put this one up. And this particular squatty said this. The king and his horse, everybody's going to start calling her his horse sooner or later. That is my mission. But I digress. It said the king and his horse are in Italy on what is supposed to be a major tour. Yet the bulk of the UK news is about Harry's case and Meghan's podcast. This is a major overshadowing. What would they do without Harry and Meghan? It's enough to give the royal family a complex. Yes, they already have a complex. That is the reason why they wanted something to happen to Harry and Meghan, because they knew this was going to happen. But can you imagine being so short-sighted and so insecure in who you are to care so much that someone else is in the news besides you. It's not going to stop you from being the king or the heir whatsoever. Why does it always have to be focused on you? As long as people have good feelings about the monarchy, who cares who's carrying the torch? You still gonna be the one sitting on the throne. You still the one gonna have the big hat. Harry and Meghan just wanted to do the work quietly. But no, they could not do that. And now look at you. You cannot make people pay attention to you. And you just have dirtied yourself up to the point where all the mystique of the crown has just fallen away. And now nobody cares. I'm telling you, you can't get any kind of engagement if you absolutely was out here passing out $10 bills to get it. I'm just saying. But yes, now they're accusing Harry and Meghan of overshadowing the king and his horse. And Harry is just going to court, and Meghan is just working like every other working mother here in America, trying to support her family. But yet and still, it's Harry and Meghan all the time. Not them being mediocre, not them needing to up their game, and maybe somebody would pay attention to them. Maybe if Kitty Cat would actually go to work once in a while, maybe it would bring one or two eyeballs to that institution. But when was the last time we saw Kate? I cannot remember. I think I have had a birthday since then, maybe 2 birthdays. She never works. I'm just saying. All right, y'all, I'm going to put this up. And this was so funny. It's a video out there, and it's so funny. Charles is absolutely mad and upset and frustrated with his horse because the horse is just running. The horse is just wandering around, not knowing where it's supposed to be or where to go or where to stand. I mean, just as confused as it can be. I'm wondering, well, I'm not going to say that, but she does act like sometimes that she might have dementia or something, because if you see this particular clip, the horse doesn't know where she's supposed to be, and Charles is so frustrated with her. He's like, come over here. You see his arm right here? He is like, come over here. He lost it in front of everybody, and you can see that. Look at look at the prime minister. Look at him. He's like, what's going on? Charles is absolutely losing it on the horse, and she just running around there trying to hope that she gets in the right place. It is pathetic, and I just love this for her. I do, because she wanted to be queen, and now you are, and now you are an embarrassment, and I just love it for you. This particular Squatty said, these two are horrible and crass. I can't even call Camilla a horse. Y'all, I love it when people call her a horse, because we all know it started here on the Royal Reed. Yes, but I love it when they call her the horse. It says, I can't even call Camilla a horse because horses behave better than her. Remember Roy Choi episode Meghan referred to home training? Yes, yes, yes. It said Camilla reminds me of someone who has had zero training on how to behave in public. She is always bumbling and stumbling around, being socially inappropriate all the time. She is definitely not queen material. You can say whatever you want to about Queen Betty, but you could not say that she didn't know how to handle her role. She knew how to be a queen. She had that mystique. She had that elegance. She had the queen-like spirit of her. She did. When she walked in a room, she commanded respect. Charles really don't even have that. They don't have what Queen Betty had. And yet and still he had the nerve to make this horse his queen. And now he is now he is mad with it because it won't stand where he wants it to stand or where it's supposed to stand. It's wandering around in circles like it's trying to find its tail. I love it. I love it. This particular squatter goes on to say Charles gets visibly frustrated at Camilla again, and Camilla behaves ridiculously again. He did. He's like, come over here. Come over here. And the prime minister is like, I mean, oh my goodness, it is. And this particular squatty posted saying, here's King Charles. Didn't look particular amused with his horse. No, he didn't, because she didn't know what to do. She was walking around in a circle. She was trying to chase her tail. I love it. I love it. All right, y'all, I'm going to put this one up. And this particular squatty said this, not the king gesturing rudely to his wife, who appears to be confused as to where she's supposed to be. It is clear they each need their own palace. I'm telling you, go online if you can and look at this clip. She is wandering around like she is looking for the pasture to graze in because she absolutely don't know where she at. I mean, she's looking for some kind of signal of where she can go. It is the funniest thing, I'm telling you, and he is just not having it whatsoever. All right, y'all, I'm going to put this up, and I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on it because it makes me angry. All right, it's a clip from Talk TV. I'm not going to play the clip. And not Jeremy Vine, what is his name? Jeremy Kyle, that's his name. And he says some of the most vulgar things associated with Meghan and Harry. Very sexual and vulgar things in this particular clip. And this particular video is still up on this particular app. It is. And I'm going to put this up. And this is what Dre had said. And then this squatty reposted it. Dre said, this is easily the most disgusting thing I've heard about Meghan. And trust me, I have heard a lot. It's almost as shocking as the Jeremy Kyle article. I think he meant Jeremy, what's his name, Clarkson article. I can't believe this was even allowed to air. The level of hate towards her is unreal and must be reported. And that's exactly what I did. I made sure I found this video and I went in there and I reported it as being very sexual and bullying. I'm just saying. And this particular squatty reposted that and said this is disturbing and disgusting. This is what Meghan has been dealing with since 2016. Meghan is a woman, a wife, a mother of 2 children, and an angel baby. No woman of any royal family, yes, she is still a royal family member, is treated like this in the media. No one. Exactly. And y'all, I'm going to ask y'all to do something that I have never, ever asked y'all to do. And that is I'm going to put this up. This right here is the address you see right up there of this video. And what he says that is so disgusting is at 4 minutes 49 seconds. Go to 4 minutes, 49 seconds, and there it would be. And then report it. Because when you go there, they timestamp that. So they'll know what part you're talking about that is bullying and is sexually harassing. So please do this. The address is right up here, because this needs to be reported. It needs to be taken down, and they need to get some kind of strike or some kind of penalty for this, because it is over the line. When I tell you we can't even see the line. This is so disgusting. So, like I said, I have never ever came on here with an address of a video for y'all to go and report. But please go over there. Like I said, stop this video, write it down, take a picture of it with your phone, go in there and put it in your search bar, and it'll come up. And once it come up, your address bar, it'll come up. And once it come up, go to 4 minutes, 49 seconds. And there it is. And report it. It'll automatically timestamp itself, and go in there. You put in there that it's bullying, and then you have to put what kind it is. And I put of a sexual nature, because it is. And report it. We need to mass report this, because it's disgusting. It's over the line. It's him with Kenzie Schofield, and even you can see her reaction, that it is so over the line. The level of disrespect, I'm telling you, I was shaking inside. My voice is still shaking when I talk about it. I'm so angry that they feel like they can disrespect her. Just like this is why I dragged them over there, because they created this nonsense. They did this. Charles and William, they left her unprotected and then encouraged these people to feel free to be able to disrespect her at this level. And it keeps getting worse and worse and worse, because they haven't been able to destroy her, and they are angry. And it gets worse and worse and worse. And like I said, this not only crosses the line, you can't even see the line. And I am going to get off of it, because I am shaking inside and I'm so angry about it. All right, y'all. I'm going to change the subject. This is good. Karma has absolutely showed up. For some reason, she got out of bed today. She put on her very tight black dress and just walked all the way over there where Dan Wootton was living, and she decided to knock on the door. And when he answered, she kissed him in the mouth. And this particular squatty said this: "Squatties, come see this. Come see this." And look at the bottom. It says, former colleague of Dan Wootton has accused the ex-GB News presenter of pretending to be a woman in flirting messages and tricking him into sending explicit images in a catfishing case, the High Court has heard. Yes, you heard it right. Mr. Dan Wootton, Mr. Maria Joseph, Mr. Martin Brannon. Yes, he has finally got a court case. Now, it's civil, it's not criminal, but I love this for him. I do. And I'm going to put it up. The BBC even posted about it and said, Dan Wootton tricked colleagues into sending intimate pictures, court told. Yes, I love his face. plastered all over the place. Y'all remember when he was out there putting those flowers out there for the queen and practicing and all that kind of stuff to get the right angle and to get the right take? His phony self. I bet you he could not envision his life as it is, as a disgraced television presenter, and now living off of hate on these YouTube streets. That's why I said I hope Megan will take one of these people down and the other ones will fall in line. They will. And we see that they are absolutely aware of the ones who are doing this nonsense. And I know they know he is one of them because that's all he talk about on that channel of his over there is Megan, him and Angela Levin, that little troll doll. I'm telling you, they need to take that little house away from her that Harry and Megan has bought. I'm just saying. But this particular squatty posted this and said this. These are the type of people who attack Megan for a living. That's all I'll say. Where is the lie? They are the lowest of low lives who profit off of hate. They are so evil and it shows all over them. I'm just saying. All right, y'all, I'm going to put up something really, really sweet. And it just shows the true character of Megan. And this organization, I can't remember what it is. I cut it off, so I can't remember what it is. But it's an article that they wrote about Megan saying, Megan, the Duchess of Sussex, apologized to, as ever, customers. And what are they talking about? Well, it was a lot of people in there buying honey, buying all of these different products. And the honey was the first to go, if anybody know that. And the honey was the first to go because everybody wanted the honey with the honeycomb in it. I saw one of the people post about having the honey. They opened it up and the honeycomb, and they said it's so delicious. Oh my goodness, I can't wait to get mine. I digress. But yes, everybody was after that honey because, for one, it was limited. It was a special limited edition. And two, it had that honeycomb in that. And people was just absolutely wanting that honey. Well, a lot of people put it in their shopping carts and stuff like that, and they thought they had it. And then when everything kind of shook out, some people did not get it. It was taken out of their cart and they didn't get a chance to get it. Well, Megan, I'm going to put this up. Megan wrote a letter and told them, and how sorry she was that had happened. And you know what Megan said she was going to do? She said, she wrote them a letter and she said, when it's restocked, when the honey is restocked, they will automatically send the honey out to them. They don't have to go in and reorder it or anything like that. And guess what? She's going to send it to them for free. That's good business. That right there is good business. And it's good customer service. Actually, great customer service. Can you imagine? Because of course people would be upset that they ordered something and then they didn't get it. But now when it comes back in, they're just going to ship it out to them. You don't have to go in and reorder it or anything like that. When it comes back into stock, they're going to ship it out, and they're going to ship it out for free. That's Megan. And this particular squatty posted about that. Well, it's a repost of a repost. And the original post said, oh my God. So I refreshed the as ever page so much that I caused a glitch in the matrix. The honey I thought I ordered sold out. received a message from Megan. And that's the message. I'm not going to read it, but that was the gist of the message, meaning that Megan was going to send it out without them reordering, and she was going to give it to them for free. And this particular squatty reposted that and said this: Megan is just pure class. Love that she is doing this for her customers. Where's the lie? Where is the lie? This is who she is, and she deserves better. I'm still, I'm still mad about that little report I talked about earlier. She deserved better. She deserves better. She hadn't done anything except fall in love with a prince. That's it. I'm just saying. All right, y'all. I'm going to put this one up. And this particular squatty said, numbers don't lie. Megan is at the top of the charts. Like I said, she is at the top of the charts of the business podcast. And I think, like I said, 6 or 8 overall. But if you haven't watched it, if you haven't watched Confession of a Female Founder, it is on Lemonada, and it's on all the other ones too. I think it's on Apple. It's on all of the different platforms. But I have it myself, and I am going to do that tomorrow. So if you hadn't did it yet, be like me, join me, and let's do it tomorrow. Let's run those numbers up. If you hadn't had a chance to listen to it, join me, because that's what I'm going to be doing tomorrow. I am going to listen to it tomorrow, and join me in it. We need to run these numbers up. We need to continue to be consistently supporting our faves, because let me tell you, the forces are against them. The evilness is still out there, and it's getting nastier and nastier and nastier, like this Jeremy Kyle character. This is the same guy that had a show and demeaned this man so badly that he went home and unalived himself. And they had all kind of hearings in Parliament about this. I don't see why he is even allowed to still be on any kind of media, including this one right here. I'm just saying. But I digress, y'all. It's been kind of a tough podcast. That one, report about him really kind of, but anyway, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye.